out because we do not have a vocal point. We do not have something mali tunalenga sisi wote. When the revolution was high and up in arms and in high spirits, we were all focused on the action of parliament in respect to the finance bill. If we give parliament another burden of impeaching William Ruto, it means that it is going to rekindle the spirit of the revolution, and the people will start focusing on the question of impeaching William Ruto. We will go to the streets saying impeach, impeach. We will go to occupy parliament again to tell them you must impeach William Ruto this time round. So that becomes, in my view, becomes another way of rejuvenating the spirit of the revolution. The final one is where we are saying that number one, the resignation has failed. Number two, impeachment has failed. Then we go to factory setting. We go to the second Tuesday of August 2027, where we are saying then William Ruto will go out by the way of the ballot. Then the question is, are we then prepared for the ballot? That is to mean if option one, resignation fails. Option two, impeachment fails. We go to the constitutional tool of the elections. How have we prepared our people for option three? Where option three will be the climatization of the entire revolution and the manifestation of the results of the revolution. In my view, I do not think that we are taking proper actions and proper steps towards preparing ourselves for the 2027 elections. In my view, we need to make sure that people get the most crucial tool of making them ready for 2027, and that is the national identity card. The national identity card is the key to the warehouse that will send William Ruto home. How many Gen Zs have registered as a citizen of the Republic of Kenya? The other question is, do we have the facilities that are capable of producing all the IDs that are pending between today and 2027? And don't you think William Ruto will sabotage our revolution by making sure that the facilities are not available? I am proposing that we devolve the process of registration of the people to the counties or to the most minute level that people can easily and expeditiously get registered. That is to mean the equipment that generates the IDs must be removed from Nyayo House, be taken to where people can easily collect them. It should be our priority to push that IDs be issued as many as we can. But again, that William Ruto will sabotage because he knows that is a tool that he cannot evade. The other question is, when you look at the question of the Election Act and the role of the people requirement to register as a voter, I was asking myself today, how many things am I able to do as a Kenyan on the face or the fact of just holding an identity card? If I have an ID, I can get a visa. If I have an ID, I can withdraw M-Pesa. If I have an ID, I can do a lot of things. Why is it so difficult and why is it a requirement that for me to vote, I must be registered? I must have a vote. I must have. There must be a rigorous process which must be rolled in a clandestine manner for me to be able to vote. What is the role of the ID? Why can't I just go and vote? Why can't the register be generated on that basis? That if you have an ID, you are registered to vote. Those are some of the things that we might think and might impact or call for for the amendment of the entire electoral laws. We have made various proposals in that respect about the question of how the elections can be expedited and how everybody can be involved in the process of the elections. As I sum up, I've had the latter speaker, the member Silasia, speak about a referendum. In my view, we are not yet ready for that. If we say that we want to take the country to a referendum, we'll be losing our eyes from the ball. We'll not be able to keep the eyes on the ball. The eyes on the ball is the fate this country is where William has taken this country. We must fix William Ruto if we want to fix the country. If you want to fix the economy of this country, fix William Ruto. If you want to fix the education system of this country, fix William Ruto. If you want to fix the agricultural sector of this country, fix William Ruto. If you want to fix the transport industry, fix William Ruto. If you want to fix the manufacturing industry, fix William Ruto. William is a problem that this country has. It's a cancer that is ailing this country. And therefore, at the moment, our focus should be, how do we get William Ruto out of office? We have, in the past, been able to put a spirited fights in court, if I may report. For example, there's a pending matter that is before the court today about the finance bill and about the participation of the IMF. We have gone to court asking the Treasury not to sign any further agreement, either with the IMF or with the World Bank. That matter was reported in the Standard today. I am actually the petitioner, the Mount Kenya jurist, which the chairman is also the petitioner, another group of advocates. So we are saying that we should be able to push for change from our own perspective and from where we are. For example, Willis has made very, very, very able submissions in respect to the extermination of young people by the police. We must be able to tell the country that we have other international instruments that can be able to address the kind of the extermination that the country is doing to the young people in the absence of a domestic remedy. That is to mean, and I echo his words, that we must be able to collect all this evidence, and we must be able to give them a periodic ultimatum that if you will not have prosecuted or charged these guys who are responsible for this within a specific period of time, then we shall be able to put into motion other international instruments. As at now, we should have actually written a letter to the ICC informing them of the situation that is unfolding in the Republic of Kenya, so that these guys understand that you're not just depending on the IPOA or depending on the DPP or depending on the DCI to investigate. The world has become a global stage, so that they understand that in the absence of your investigation, we have other international instruments playing that role. I agree with Willis that when a police officer retires, haidangi nyumbani na hizo bunduki, anaenda kivyake, and we shall go for them where they shall be at the time at the time when these processes shall be unfolding. In my final submission, it is true that if you took a debt and the debt was registered in our books, and the data is not reflected in this country anywhere in either project, then you should be prima facie liable for that particular debt. The country should not be made to carry the burden of those individuals who enriched themselves with our public money. The moment you go and take a debt to enrich yourself, you have breached the social contract between myself and yourself. That is to mean the liabilities that accrues therefrom from that particular debt accrues to you as an individual and not to us as a nation. And finally, what is this William is saying? That is appointing a task force to review the debts. What was he paying? Hasn't he told us that he has been paying debts? Kwani amekuwa akilipa nini? Has he been paying things that he does not understand and things that he does not know? So in my view, huyu jamaa anatuchezea. We should keep the fire burning. We need to move on. We need to fix William Ruto, and we need to make sure that he understands the question of the sovereignty of the people. The sovereignty of the people is supreme, and that is why we're able to address you at this particular time freely. The moment we dim this light, the moment we fail to support the movement of the revolution, I think the revolution will fizzle out. The young people will get fatigued, and then they will lose the cause. So we must also begin to call other people who are not directly involved in the revolution to also take part by ghost laws. We need even to have strategies of serious economic sabotage. If we know that unauzanga mayai na hii mayai yako inakujanga hii supermarket fulani, we should be able to have a strategy of economic sabotage. It worked very well in America during the civil rights movements. People boycotted, and the effect was felt. If we know a company that sells particular, kama ni soda inauzanga, na wewe umetoka huko America, na umepewa debt yako na una support huyu jamaa, we should be able to say don't take that soda. Why should we not be able to say, ile siku ingine alikuwa huko nilisikia alipewa sijui mapesa zingine za kampani zingine hapo, sitaki kuzitaja saa hizi mimi, lakini hizo kampuni tunazijua. It means they are supporting, it means they are supporting him. Why should we continue supporting their products to support a tyranny or support a dictator who is sabotaging our economy? So those strategies of economic sabotage should be applied so that they also feel the pain and so that we may share this pain equally. I'm so humbled for the time granted to me to make my humble submissions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Wakili. Asante sana. That one needs some break. I mean, I've learned a lot of things about your submission. We are a country that is carrying debt that we don't know what it is paying for, who borrowed the debt, and why. Someone asked me the other day that the government is not creating jobs. The government does not create jobs. The government creates an enabling environment for you to create a job. Kazi ya serikali ni kukupatia environment poa ndio ufanye kazi. Serikali ikiandika daktari, haija create kazi ya daktari. Imeandika huyo daktari asaidie serikali ku create enabling environment ya mtu kufanya kazi. So that ukikuwa mgonjwa ukifanya kazi, unaenda kwa hospitali ya serikali unatibiwa ndio urudi ufanye kazi. Ukifanya kazi unakuwa productive, then the government comes and tells you ulienda kwa hospitali yetu, hebu lipa hii tax. Essentially, haufai kulipa pesa kwa hospitali kwa sababu unalipa tax. So kazi ya serikali ni kukupatia the right environment ya wewe kufanya kazi. And when you work, that's when you create a job. For example, kama wewe ni engineer, that is your work. Uko na skill ya engineering. So una create kampuni yako ya kutengeneza bridge. So kwa hiyo kampuni yako utaandika watu, au watu umewapatia job. So your work has created a job. So serikali kazi yake ni kucreate environment ndio wewe ufanye nini, thrive, ukwe productive. So when you are productive, ndio serikali inakuja nasema, jo hapo umekuwa productive, hebu nipatie hata 10%. Lakini tuko na serikali yenye inakuitisha 10% hata kama hujakuwa productive. So serikali kama hiyo tunaita predatory government. It is like a predator, ni kama vampire. Aioni ukifanya kazi, uko nyumbani umekaa. Lakini inakuambia file returns. How do you file returns na unataka kazi? Inakuambia file nil returns. Sasa walikuwa wamefika ile level ya wanataka kuangalia kwa M-Pesa yako. Mimi nimekuja kwa inbox yangu, umesema umelala njaa. Nimekutumia 200 ili ujisupport. Wanaingia kwa M-Pesa yako wanasema ulipata 200. So kwa hiyo 200 tupatie shilingi 20. Usipopeana hiyo shilingi 20 by 30th of June, wanakufungulia mashtaka. Ile siku utapata job, unaletewa barua unasema haukulipa tax miaka fulani na tunakuitisha penalty ya 80,000. That is predatory government. And we must stand up against this predatory behavior ya serikali yenye tuko nayo saa hii. We must stand. That's why wakili amesema we keep the fire burning. Na kuna strategies mingi. Kuna watu wata protest, kuna watu huko nje, kuna watu wata raise heat hapa kwa digital platforms, kuna watu wata boycott, kuna watu watakuwa na slow inaitwaje, wata go slow. Kesho madaktari wanaenda MOH. It's part of the revolution. Ati mna separate, mnasema hao ni madaktari. Madaktari wanaenda MOH kesho Afya House. Inafaa wale wenye watakuwa waende wa support. That is just putting the pressure. Na aim ya madaktari ni moja, ni kupoke holes kwa hiyo cabinet, kwa sababu hiyo cabinet iko na watu filthy. Jana mwana cabinet secretary fulani ameshikwa huko na bibi ya mtu, amepigwa mangumi. How can a whole cabinet secretary, ule ambaye anabeba value ya country yetu, unapatikana kwa hoteli na bibi ya mtu, unapigwa mangume huko, unaibishwa huko? So it is not true that the president is saying ati cabinet yake ni safi. It is dirty, and I think this is the worst cabinet secretary in the cabinet office in the history of this country. Hata ya Moi haikuwa mbaya hivyo ya 1990. So Tontenas, you said you want to sing something. Can you sing something as we take a cup of water, a glass of water, and then we come back?
Yes, sir. I'm on. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir. Introduce yourself.
Yes, we can.
You are a young man. You're a Gen Z. How is
Not
music?
really. I'm not a Gen Z per se. I'm a millennial.
All right.
Yeah, my name is Alan Shioso, but you can simply call me Shio. That's
Or
easy.
yes.
I'm a performing artist
All
under
right.
this entity called Tontenas Entertainment.
All right.
And basically, I do advocacy through
All right.
performing art. That is playwriting, acting, directing, music directing, and singing.
All right.
So today I'll do an original piece
Before
of
you go for
whatever.
the original piece, how is the environment? Is the government giving you a good environment to escalate your talent?
Not really per se, because as an artist, I believe change
Yes.
can only come through structures.
Yes.
And so far, we don't have structures. Even when we try to put up suggestions,
Mm-hmm.
they are not being like followed to the core. So I believe the best way is having structures that will elevate the creative economy,
All right.
and so that artists can be sustainable. And I'm on course doing that under Kenya Cultural Center, incorporating Kenya National Theatre. And I hope, for starters, this blueprint that I'm trying to put across will
Mhm.
make sense, because my passion is creating a sustainable environment for the creative economy. Because as a practitioner in the theatre space,
Mhm.
as a performer, it's really hard at
Mhm.
the moment. Since even since COVID came in, it has been worse.
Mhm.
But we keep
All
on
right.
pushing. Yes.
All right. What about Talantahela? There's something called Talantahela.
Talantahela, from my point of view, I've only seen its impact on the awarding of thespians under Kenya Theatre Awards.
Mhm.
So far, that is what I've seen. But from my point of view, I feel
Mhm.
awarding theaters at an accolade point of view is not really sustainable. We
All right.
need programs under
Mhm.
the Kenya Cultural Center, for example, for the thespians,
Mhm.
that have structure that can be funded
Mhm.
and bring artists on board, so that
Mhm.
like we shape their talents according to art and culture in this country. And in the same way, I believe art and culture is not more of tribe. We can commercialize our ethnicities
Mhm.
positively, yeah,
All right.
and create a unity of purpose.
Right. Go on. Take it over.
Yeah, so this is a rendition of an original on YouTube called Loudest, basically being vocal on matters social, political, and economic matters. But I'll do like the vocal part of it. There is the original piece is incorporated with other artists, and it's more of pop and street sound. So stay tuned for Sema Tena. Tunasakanya kado, wanatuibia, tunapigania wax, wanatukazia, wanadai tuko free, wametukalia, pesa zilingia bank zikadisapia, mwananchi yuko njaa, mwenyekiti amekaa akisinzia parliament. Ufisadi umejaa, wa maombi wamekaa wakingojea ka sacrament. So potelea pote kama chwani kwa mkono ya polisi traffic jam ni kokote, una haki kwa mikono ya polisi culprit. Hey, kula mali ya umma kwa ofisi, tai juu ya kitambi ni ofisi, tunashika tunachoma mwizi, kumbe kuna mwingine kwa ofisi. Mlishasema ni wakati wa kutenda, mlishasema ni wakati wa kutenda, mlishasema ni wakati wa kutenda, mlishasema ni wakati wa kutenda. Unapenda mnene juu anakupa vinene, miaka 5 mitini juu utamwona kwa teli, kuongeza madeni mifuko ndefu karele, mpeleke kotini atatoka na deni, jukani kesi hakuna za wadosi, nimewadadisi amnaga mikosi, mnaiba mnasema ni Mwokozi, wananchi wakiteta mnawaita mapolisi. Yo, sanseni samesi, unajua ni usanii tu, sanseni samesi, unajua ni kuimba tu, usinifinye hapo, usinifinye hapo. Mlishasema ni wakati wa kutenda, Mlishasema ni wakati wa kutenda, mlishasema ni wakati wa kutenda, mlishasema ni wakati wa kutenda. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Where are you? Where are you? Where is your studio? Where can people get you? Because your songs sound to be revolution songs. And I'm sure as we go on with this revolution, we want more of these songs. Where can we get you?
On social media or the physical studio?
Physical studio.
Physical studio, currently we are at Kitengela,
Yes.
Chairman Road behind Eastmart.
All right.
Yeah, that is where the basic, like the physical studio is, but on social media platforms, you can find us on Tenors, and
Yes.
we occasionally hold shows at Kenya National Theatre.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Can we have Milton? Milton?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Amerix.
Yes.